Hi you guys, welcome to my channel Wholesale to Million. My name is Khang, where I share with you guys everything I've learned about wholesaling houses, how you can go out there, tie a property up under contract at a discount, and able to assign that contract over to an end buyer that has the cash to close on it and make a lot of money doing it without risking your own cash. You don't need good credit. You don't need any construction background to be able to do this. When I started out, I didn't have any knowledge, of real estate. So I don't know any construction background. I don't have any construction background whatsoever, okay? So if I can do it too with the determination, the willpower to succeed, if you have that, then you can do it too. Now for this video, I'm going to share with you guys is what is wholesaling. So I'm going to try to really break it down so you guys can understand. For those of you that don't know what wholesaling is or just getting into real estate and want to know what wholesaling is all about, maybe you haven't done your deals yet, so you are confused and don't really know what is wholesaling and how to do it. Now I'm going to really try to break it down for you guys on how I would understand it, okay? So hopefully this is going to help you guys for those of you who don't know what wholesaling is. All right, hold on a second. I'm going to flip the camera and show it to you guys. All right, you guys, I got the whiteboard ready. So I'm going to explain to you guys, try to explain it as simple as I can, what is wholesaling. So I'm going to draw some pictures on here. And then hopefully after this video, you guys will be able to understand what is wholesaling all about, okay? So typically investor, they actually have a formula that they use where they buy property under a discount at. And so let me share that formula with you. So you got to know this formula before you go out there and start putting property under contract. So basically this is the formula, is ARV, okay? ARV stands for after repair value. So, which means in perfect condition, so let's just say here, this house here, okay, in perfect condition is worth $100,000. ARV, after repair value. So in perfect condition, this house here worth $100,000. And then what you do is automatically, investor likes to, savvy investor, they go for 30% off. So they like to get a 30% discount on this property. Okay, so if this house here in perfect condition is worth 100, they would buy it at $70,000. Okay, so in perfect condition, so if this house here needs no repair, it's all ready to go, you don't have to do anything to it, and if it's worth 100,000, the investor would buy 30%. So they would buy it at a 30% discount. Okay, so which means if you take 100,000 minus 30% discount, they would pay 70,000 for it. Now let's say if this house needs 20,000 in repairs. So let's just say that the repair cost. So let's say this house here needs 20,000 before it can be in perfect condition to worth 100,000. So what that means is that you would take here 70,000 minus 20,000, okay, for the repair costs. So that gives you 50,000. So which mean the investor, they would buy it at 50,000. If it needs 20,000 in repair, they would pay 50,000 for it, because they have to put in the 20,000 for the repair costs, so that way they can end up at the $70,000. Okay. So basically, just one more time, if the house is worth 100,000 in perfect condition with no repair, they would like to get 30% off discount. They would like to get a 30% off discount from it. So which means that sets you at 70,000. So that's how much they would pay for it. If the property needs no work, no repair, ready to go, they would pay 70,000 for it. But if the property needs 20,000 in repairs, then you got to minus that 20,000 from the 70,000, because it needs the 20,000 in repair. So puts it at 50,000. So which means the investor would buy that property at $50,000. Okay? Because they still got to put $20,000 into it. So they'll be all in at $70,000. Okay? So that's the formula. So typically people, they would say ARV, after repair value, minus the discount, 30%, minus the repair, okay, the repair costs, equal the purchase price, okay, because they want to make 30%, they want to make 30% on the investment, okay. So once you have that formula, the next thing that you need to have is you need to have a purchase and sell contract, and and you need an assignment. You need an assignment agreement. And I will share this with you guys. If you guys haven't already have a purchase and sell agreement, and if you haven't had the assignment agreement yet, drop me a comment and I can send you ours, or I will put a link in the descriptions that you guys can go to another website. It's a Facebook page. It has over 40, I think almost 40,000 members on there right now. It's anywhere from wholesaler, investor, beginner, newbies, lender, all kinds of stuff on there that you guys can go there and connect. And there's people on there that's so friendly that they will share with you guys what their purchase and sell agreement, and they will share with you the assignment agreement as well. Maybe you'll be able to find one that is locally to you that'll be able to share that with you. But I assume that you guys already have the purchase and sell agreement, and you guys already have the assignment agreement contract. I will explain these later, so don't worry. But if you don't have them, this purchase and sell is for you and the seller. This assignment agreement is for you, between you and the end buyer. Okay, so if you don't have this purchase and sell, the purchase and sell agreement, drop me a comment, let me know, I'll send it to you. And I'll send this to you as well, the assignment agreement. Just let me know which one you guys need. Okay, so as for that, that's what you need. Okay, you need to know the formula, and you need to have a purchase and sell agreement and the assignment agreement ready to go. Okay, now let me explain this. Okay, so here goes. So here's the property. Okay, here's the property. Here's the homeowner. Here's the property owner. Okay. Whether this is his house that he's living in, or whether this is an investment or one of his rental, it doesn't really matter. So this is the owner of this property. This is the property owner. Okay. So we'll call him, so this is the seller, okay? He's the owner, he owns this property. And then, here's you. Okay, that's you. Now, for somehow you connected with this seller, whether you go door knocking or you send out postcard or letters, but he received one of your letter or one of your mailing, or maybe you go door knocking, whatever it is, he reach out, or you reach out to him, or he reach out to you, the seller reach out to you, and say, let's just say this is John. Hey John, I'm interested in selling my property. Okay, and then you and him talk back and forth. He's said that he told you he wants to sell his house. Okay, and you said, okay, you want to buy his house. Now let's just say his house in perfect conditions is worth $100,000. Okay, seller said, hey, my house worth $100,000. You did your research, you did your homework, and know that yes, the house is worth $100,000. And seller also told you, hey, the house is going to need about $20,000 in repair. Okay, so seller said house is going to need $20,000 in repair. Okay, so he told you that. He said the house is worth $100,000. You did your homework. You find out that the house does worth $100,000 in perfect condition, so no repair needed. This house in perfect condition worth $100,000, and seller told you that the house is going to need about $20,000 in repair to put in perfect condition, so you can sell it for $100,000. Okay. Now, using the formula that you guys learned earlier, you know that you now have to get this property under contract for less than 50, okay? For less than 50. Because if you do this one here, if you do the formula, you know that another buyer would pay $50,000 for it. Okay, so you know that you have to be under $50,000. So you have to tie this property up with the seller at a lower price than $50,000. Okay. So anyway, so let's just say you chat with the seller and you told him all the all the good things that we're doing. We're buying the property as is. We're paying for all the closing costs and things like that. And the seller said, hey, you know what? If you want to come in and buy this property off me, all cash, I will sell to you for $40,000. Let's just say that you talked to the seller, you guys negotiated, and you got him to agree to sell it to you for $40,000. Okay? So what you do is you take the purchase and sell contract, that you have, and then once you and the seller has signed this contract, this is the purchase and sell contract between you and the seller. Once you and the seller have signed this contract, okay, saying that he agreed to sell to you for 40, you agreed to buy it at 40,000. Now, when you approach the seller, remember you act as you're the buyer. So you don't say you're a wholesaler, you're the actual buyer that's going to come in and buy this property. Now, don't worry if you don't have the money or anything for the property, okay? Just don't worry about that, because in the contract that you guys have, it allows you to assign this contract, and so this contract will protect you in case you can't move forward with buying the property. So which means if you can't find the buyer, you can get out of the contract and you don't have to pursue to buy his property, okay? So you guys don't have to worry about having the money for it or anything like that, because what you're going to do is once this contract is signed between you and the seller, you're able to now legally, so once that contract is signed, okay, once that contract is signed, now you are legally able to go out there and take this contract that you just tied this property up at 40,000, and you're able to assign it over for more money, okay, for more money, whatever that amount is. But in this case, let's say you found Bob. Bob is a fix and flip, or he could be a buy and hold. Doesn't matter. As long as Bob has the cash, as long as Bob has the cash to buy this, okay? So somehow Bob got in contact with you, or you got in contact with Bob, and Bob knows that, hey, you got this property under contract. He doesn't know how much it is, but you tell him, hey, Bob, because of this formula, you know the investor, they would buy it at that discount. So you're going to tell Bob, you're going to say, hey, Bob, I'm going to sign this contract over to you, okay, for right here. You're going to sign it over to him for $50,000, okay? Whoops, sorry. Let me get that up. Okay, so you're going to tell Bob, you're going to be like, I'm going to sign this contract over to you for $50,000. Now, let's say Bob agreed. Bob said, okay. So Bob will agree to it, and Bob said, okay, I will buy it for $50,000. So Bob said, hey, I will buy this property here for $50,000. Okay. Now what you do, so let me just break this down so you guys know here. Okay, I'm sorry about that. So basically now, Bob agrees to buy from you for $50,000, okay, and you agree to now assign this contract here, over to Bob for $50,000. So what you do next is you need assignment agreement. The assignment agreement. So let's just say this is the assignment agreement. This assignment agreement will be between you and Bob for the purchase price of $50,000. Okay, so the assignment agreement will be between you and the buyer, you and another buyer. Okay, in this case it'll be Bob. So Bob agrees to buy for $50,000. You agree to assign this contract to Bob for $50,000, and all you guys need to do is fill out this assignment agreement. Once you sign, and when Bob has signed this assignment agreement at the price of $50,000, okay, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this assignment agreement and you're gonna take the purchase and sale agreement. You're gonna send it into your title company. So you're gonna send it into the title company. And based on all the information on here and the assignment agreement, because this, it's already been, you know, we already did everything in here. So once the title company, they will look at this, they'll look at the assignment agreement, and they will know exactly what to do, okay? So what it is when it times to close, so when it times to close, when it times to go to the closing table, the seller's gonna come in and sign, okay? The seller's gonna come in and sign. Now, the seller's gonna come in and sign, and the buyer is gonna come in and sign, okay? So when they send out the closing to sign the final paperwork, the seller's gonna come in and sign. He's gonna sign that he's gonna sell his house for $40,000. The buyer's gonna bring in the money. The buyer's gonna bring in $50,000 to close on this property. Okay, so he's gonna bring in $50,000. Okay, so the buyer's gonna bring in $50,000 to close on this property. Okay, and which 40,000 out of the 50, $40,000, okay, will go to the seller. This goes to the seller. Okay, and what's left over is $10,000. Now that $10,000, Chicago or the title company will write you a check, and they will cut you a check for $10,000. Okay, so basically you have no money in the game. You don't have to bring any money to the table once you have this contract signed between you and the seller, and you have the assignment agreement signed between you and another buyer. Okay, and all you do is just take those two, the purchase and sale and the assignment agreement, both of these. Remember, this is different. The purchase and sale is a different contract between you and the seller. Okay, and the assignment agreement is between you and the buyer. It's a different contract. Now you're gonna take these two contracts, you're gonna bring it to your title company, okay, and they will do all the paperwork. They'll drop all the paperwork and do all the closing for you, and they will make sure that whatever agreed upon, which is $40,000, will go to the seller, and $10,000, which is left, will go to you and the buyer, which is Bob. Bob now becomes the new owner of this property, and he will be responsible for the $20,000 in repair that he's going to do. Okay, so he's now responsible for the repair costs and everything like that. And all you do is you just be able to tie this up at the discount, okay, at the discount rate, assign that over to another buyer for more money, okay, take those two contracts into the title company. They'll do all the paperwork, they'll do all the closing. You're pretty much done. Okay? Now, so I hope that is clear. I hope none of this is too much and too overwhelmed for you guys, but I really try to slow it down. If you guys are still confused, just let me know. But when you tie this property up under contract with the seller, you want to get as many days as you can. The longer days you can get it, the better, because it gives you the time to find Bob, to find the buyer for the property. Typically, typically a 30 days is a fair amount of time. So basically, you just when you tie this property under contract with the seller, you just tell the seller, hey, Mr. Seller, so is it okay if we can close within the next 30 days or less? Okay, And if he's okay, if you can get 60 days, the longer you can get it, the better. Okay, but most sellers okay with 30 days. Because when I remember when I first started out, I keep on thinking you got to close quick. You got to close in 7 to 10 days. So, but you don't. What you do is you want to tie the seller up as long as you can, get as much time as you can, because it will give you time to find the buyer for the property. Now, in the contract, okay, between you and the seller, if you happen to cannot find the buyer, you can always go back and say, hey, you know what it's called is the inspection contingent. You can go back to the seller and say, hey, you know what, we did our walkthrough inspection on the property, and there's too much work to the property. We're not going to move forward with it. So you can now cancel the contract between you and the seller, and you just walk away. Nothing happens. Okay, that's it. So you don't have to make any kind of excuse or anything, or you don't have to worry about what you're going to tell the seller. Just say, hey, you know what, we went out, we did our inspections, and did the walkthrough, and it was just, the house just needs too much work. You don't have to give any explanation. You just said the house needs too much work, and that contract between you and the seller now cancel. You can walk away, and you can walk away without a scratch. You know, so you don't have to be obligated to buy this property if you can't find a buyer for it. You'll be able to cancel it, walk away, no problem, because in the contract between you and the seller, this protects you 100%. Okay, I'm not sure what contract you guys use, but make sure that you check it out and make sure that it's all good, that it protects you and it gives you a way out if you can't find a buyer for this property. But that is pretty much what wholesaling is all about, you guys. So it's just being able to tie a property up under contract at a discount and assign that contract over to another buyer. Okay, so this is the formula that most buyer would buy it at, which is they want at least 30% discount on the property. They want 30% discount on the property. Okay, if there is any repair, you got to minus the repair from that. Okay, so they would pay 50, and as long as you can get this property under contract with the seller for lower than this amount that they're gonna pay, okay, then you could pretty much make as much as you want. So let's just say that you know that some buyer out there would pay $50,000 for this property, okay? Because this is the formula that all the investor, I would say majority of them would buy. 30% discount, everyone would love it, okay? Everybody would buy it. So now you know that if they would pay $50,000 for it, then you can go out there, and if you talk to a seller, and let's just say if you can tie this property under contract for $20,000, okay, you can tie this under $20,000. Now you can assign it over for $50,000 because you know people would pay $50,000 for it. So guess what? How much you're making? $30,000. If you can get it lower, then you can make more. But if you obviously if you tie it up for higher, then you make less. But you know someone will pay $50,000. You just need to tie that property out under contract with the seller lower, less than $50,000, and then you can make the spread. Okay, so there you guys go. I really hope that there you guys go. I really hope that really helps you guys out. For those of you who are, hold on a second here. For those of you who are new to wholesaling, who hasn't done a wholesale before, I really hope that helps you guys out. I really hope that I really break it down so you guys can understand it. I hope I didn't confuse you. But if you guys have any question, drop me a comment all about wholesaling houses. I'm here to help you guys out. So if you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Remember, there's no dumb or stupid questions. Ask me any questions, because when I first started out, I mean, I didn't even know what a title company or an escrow agent or anything like that. So when I first started out, I'd know nothing about real estate. So I'm asking all kind of dumb, stupid questions, or what people think common sense to them, but it's not common sense to me. So I just want to let you guys know, you guys feel free to ask any question you want. I'll do my best to deliver the information. And if the question is complicated, I'll probably have to do a video. So anyways, or And the best way for me to help you guys out is just let me know what you guys are looking for. That way I can do a video on it to help you guys out, because that's probably the best way. All right. Thanks a lot for you guys for tuning in, for watching. I really greatly appreciate it. Thanks to everyone that have subscribed. As always, give me a thumbs up if you like my video. If you want more of these videos, subscribe to my channels, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care. Bye.